Happy New Year! It is currently the 2nd of January 2026 at 11:35 p.m. So I did not post an upload yesterday on the 1st, and I didn't post the 31st on YouTube. I posted on my Instagram, but I was in a pool drunk in my bikini, so that's not going on YouTube. That's staying on a private account. But anyways, today's video is definitely going to be longer. I'm doing like a New Year's recap, my goals for next year. And it's going to be a little more like personal and I guess like vulnerable. So if you only really watch to watch me ramble, then you can skip past this one. But yes, so I haven't been home. I spent New Year's Eve and the first night of New Year's at my close friend Aurora's house. Today is my first night sleeping in my house of this year. Gaget. But yeah, it is New Year's. It's 2026, which I think is crazy. The 2020s, like, it has gone by so fast. This decade has gone by so fast. I still feel like it was 2020, like, a year ago, maybe two. It does not feel like it's been 6 years. That's insane. I guess 5 years if you count like from 2020 to yeah, but like 5 years is insane. I feel like I've definitely changed a lot as a person. I've also changed in the past year. And I wanted to like talk about that. 2025 was actually huge for me. At the very end of 2024, I moved to another city alone. I moved away from the state, away from all my family, and I was navigating that. In 2025, I started uni, which I didn't think was going to happen. I'm a high school dropout. I didn't finish my year 12, and I never thought I'd go back into schooling. And I started uni in 2025. I moved into my own place. I was renting at like my auntie's for a bit at the start of the year, and now I'm in my very own place. And I think that's crazy. I met so many people this year. I had a job at the start of the year full time that I had to stop because of uni. So I had met so many people from there. I met people at uni. I'd met people through creative projects that I did, my styling projects, because I did styling, obviously. And yeah, I just met like a whole group, well, multiple groups of people, which I really cherish and I really love. I'm really happy for. I've already sort of fallen out with people this year, which I think is crazy. But that's my thing, and I think a lot of people sort of like it. Some people hate to admit it, but there's a difference between like school/work friends and like actual friends. I will be in school and work and I will be friends with people because you see them daily and you can talk about the things going on at the place you're at. So like either work or school. For this one specifically, school, you can talk about like the school and you can talk about small things, but it's always not like, it's never going to be more than like that, like people that you don't hang out with. I think that's fine. I'm happy to have relationships like that. I think that just, it's cordial, it passes the time, it's nice, but you don't need to be best friends with everyone, and see them all the time and have relationships outside of whatever you're doing with them. But some people obviously see that differently. I think as well, one thing with like losing friends, I found that when I like fall out with people, a lot of the times, besides very few cases, it's never out of hatred. It is purely just because have changed, or I just don't see a lot of value in the friendship, which is not like personal. I mean, I guess it is personal because we're not really connecting, but I don't hate them. I don't dislike them. I hope they blossom in their own areas of life, just not in my life, sort of thing. I think people really struggle with that. A lot of people, when they fall out or stop talking to people, they instantly think that there's drama or there's beef. And I feel like that's kind of crazy, because I don't know, as I'm growing older, I definitely was like that in high school. The second people stopped talking to me, I thought they hated me. I thought there was drama. I thought there was beef sort of vibe. But now I'm sort of realizing, like, you don't have to be friends with everyone. You can fall out of friendships with people but still care about them. You can just be indifferent towards people, and I think that's something that, yeah, I used to not understand. I know a lot of people still don't understand. I think it's like a thing with maturity. I am not very mature. I think I am like an average maturity for my age, but I'm still quite young. I'm only 21 years old, and I have so much learning to do. And that's one thing I'm excited for New Year's. I'm really excited to just work on myself, save up money and see what happens in my life. Last year, I went through uni. I passed all of my subjects, thank God, and I graduated with a diploma, which is something that I never thought I'd be able to do. I made so many friends. I worked on myself a lot. My style evolved a lot. I went blonde. I've only ever been blonde once in my life, and it was for like a month. And I had orange tips. It was a mess. Seriously, that hairdresser. I went to my normal hairdresser, but she had someone else helping and working with her, and the person working with her did the tips. I showed a reference photo. I showed a reference photo. The reference photo, like this much of the hair was like a colored tip. Mama, I left with this much colored. Have we lost the plot? It was insane. It was so bad, but it's okay. We're back better than ever. I actually love the blonde hair on me. I think I look a bit older with it, but I quite like it. I like the way it suits on my skin tone. I wish it was lighter. I wish it was like white. It's definitely starting to turn darker. I tried toning it, as we all knew, and it turned grey, but even now it is not grey. It is like yellow again. I don't know what to do. I don't know what toner I should get. Maybe I should just do a bleach bath or something. I don't know. That's something I need to work out. But in 2025, I feel like I grew a lot. I started to become a little more confident. I wouldn't say completely, but now, instead of constantly doing full faces with foundation, concealer, everything, I just put on a bit of a color corrector to get rid of my redness. I used to hate my freckles, and now I really like them actually, which I'm really happy about. And it's just sort of small things like that. I used to change basically my whole entire eye shape. I used to make them look a lot bigger, wearing contacts every single day, enlarging contacts every single day that were like black, that were huge. And it looks cute, but I feel like now I just feel less of a need to do that. It was obviously cute, and I felt like I looked better, but now I can feel good just wearing, like, you know, a little bit of a color corrector and just like a little bit of makeup. Nothing too crazy, not face changing. I really wanted to learn how to do my nose contour, but I sort of given up on that because I don't know, I don't mind my nose too much. Obviously, I kind of hate it. If I got the chance, I get a nose job, but it's okay. I mean, these video diaries I've been posting without any makeup, and like most of them, some of them I've had makeup in just because it was after plans and whatnot. But I feel like I've been more comfortable in my own skin. I still am definitely struggling with like issues around my self-esteem and my body, and the way that I look, especially with my weight, which is not good. And it's definitely gotten a lot worse. Last year, I sort of like, it got really bad, and it still is really bad, and that's one thing that I do want to work on. And I feel like it's just really hard not to obsess over those small things, even things that people will never notice, like things that I will point out to my close friends, and it's like so insane that like I've actually never noticed that about you or anyone else. But I feel like one thing is, when I look at myself, and I feel like this is quite common. I mean, hopefully it's quite common. I tell myself that maybe it's not common and I'm just an odd one out. But I feel like I'm so much more critical of myself, and I do see a lot of things, like a lot of small things that people don't notice or recognize or anything, or never notice. But I feel like when you're looking at yourself every single day, every single time you look in a mirror and whatnot, it's really hard not to notice those things. One thing I want to do in the new year is just sort of be, well, It's just sort of like, yeah, I guess be less critical of myself and love myself more and feel better in myself and not feel like I have to change. And I know it's like not really societal, like I'm not really doing it for other people, it's mainly myself, but that's because it is a toxic mindset in myself. And there is some part of it where I'm like, I do hope people comment on things, like say that I look pretty and whatnot. Um, but I'm sort of wanting to not care. One of my New Year's resolutions is just not care about what other people think. I get really self-conscious in public, and so I'm really hoping this next year I can not care. I started to not care about like cringe culture and stuff being weird. I think I don't care. I don't think I care too much about that now. Like, I don't care if I'm weird. I don't care if I'm perceived as weird. I like what I like. I enjoy the things that I enjoy. But I feel like that's more like actual likes, and that's completely different than myself and my body image and the way people view me physically. So hopefully that mindset can transfer over. One thing I'm hoping in the next year, or this year actually, is to save up a lot of money. I have dreams. I have dreams. I have goals of going to Paris at the end of the year. I've been really researching it. I don't have any money at the moment, and I'm actually starting to get a little worried that I might not have enough money to be able to do that. Um, and so that sort of worries me a bit, which is really weird because I've never ever been one to worry about the future of my life. I think I've always just been really carefree and go with the flow. I'm always such like a, if anyone says, oh, do you want to do something right now, I'll do it. If someone's like, oh, let's do this, let's do that, I'll do it. I don't think too much about consequences, which is also really bad. I don't think about like what's gonna happen, and I'm very like, yeah, just live in the moment sort of person. So I think it actually is a turning point in my life now that I am like somewhat worried. It's not huge worry at all. Like, I can live day to day life, but there is like a very, very small part of me that is a little worried about my future, which has never happened in my life before, and I think that's crazy. Um, but one thing that I was thinking about, and it's like, it's really a double-edged sword, is I'm actually scared to get old. And I feel like, not in the sense that I don't want to look old, I'm scared that my life will change for like the worse. But I'm also excited for the change. This is why it's like double edged. I'm scared to get old, but I'm not scared to get old. I want to get old. I want to live a lovely life. I want to experience things. I want to have stories to tell. I want to meet new people. I want to find love. I want to travel the world. But I am really scared, like, the things that I find normal now might not be normal later. And I know that's obviously it's not going to be normal. Like, my normal life now is not going to be anywhere near normal for me in like however many years. But I think I'm just a bit more scared of like more responsibilities coming onto me. I mean, obviously I have responsibilities. I have to survive by myself essentially. Like paying for all my groceries and stuff and getting jobs and like working, and I was studying and whatnot, but I'm just, I think, a bit more scared that, I won't always have friends around me, and like I won't be able to like live my life the way I do now. And I don't even know how to describe it. I was watching 16, the last episode, one of my all-time favorite childhood shows. The last episode, when Nikki, spoiler alert for 16, the last episode where Nikki has to move away, and they can't all hang out at the mall together anymore as a group and whatnot, and she's gonna be alone. And sometimes I think about that, like, I don't know, youth is fleeting. I want to get old, I want to experience, I want to be wise, I want to learn, but I am scared of, you know, I'm not scared. I wouldn't say scared. I'm actually really not scared of many things, but I'm worried that my life will not be as great. Which is what I was saying before. It's like, I've never worried about things like that before, and so it's an odd thing for me. I've never been anxious about like my future, and I've never worried about my future or even thought about my future. But I think now I'm growing up and I have a diploma, and now I have no restrictions. I'm not at school or anything, and so I'm just thinking like, what am I actually gonna do? And I think it's crazy that's one thing I want to work on in the new year, is just like figure that out. I want to start doing more things that make me happy. I want to meet new people. I want to get more into my hobbies again. I feel like I didn't really have any hobbies this year. I mean, I played some video games. I've always been playing video games. I love video games and like watching shows and listening to music, but most of my days when I wasn't studying in uni or like with friends, I was just sort of losing my mind. Like, not losing my mind, I was doom scrolling. I have one of the highest, I don't think anyone in my personal life has a higher screen time than me. Like sometimes it would literally be like 15 hours of screen time a day, which is not safe for anyone, and it's starting to really affect me. I was watching TikTok earlier today, and saw a text post. A text post? No, it does not. It's not a video. An image of text. I tried 2 times speeding the post so that I could read faster. Like intuitively, I tried doing that, and I think it's crazy. I want to take a break. I want to connect more with like nature and just like not having everything so fast paced. I think it's really hard, like ADHD brain, and trying to stay stimulated and whatnot. And I want to be able to be stimulated without having to have constant things around me. Like even sometimes when I'm gaming, I have music in, I'm gaming, and I'm watching YouTube video, and sometimes also calling a friend at the same time. And I want to be able to just like not rely on so many things to stimulate myself. I mean, I was talking about it. I listen to music 24/7. I always have a headphone in because I feel like it helps me focus, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. But when it gets to points where like I'm spending the whole day just in bed on my phone because it's like, you know, the it's keeping me busy, it's stimulating me, I think that's a problem. I want to start doing more hobbies and activities that aren't necessarily just like sitting in bed doom scrolling or even playing video games. Obviously, I'd love to play video games all the time, but I want to find something that I really like. So that's one of my New Year's resolutions as well. And I also just want to get closer to a lot of my friends. I think one of my biggest issues is that I don't really respond to many messages, and a lot of the time, if I'm not in front of someone, then I not forget about them, but I like forget to reach out to them. Sometimes I'll get notifications from friends and I'll reply in my head, and then I won't actually message them for like a week because I thought I replied. And I just sort of like forget. It's like out of sight, out of mind, and it's a really big problem because I really love a lot of people, but it's always been an issue for me, and it's actually how I've lost a few friends, and it's completely my fault. Like, I don't expect them to stay around if I'm not responding. I've stopped being friends with people just because they never responded to my messages for like months on end. I mean, mine has never been months on end, but still, like, I just, I want to work on that, and I have some other smaller goals for the new year. Um, just like, yeah, they're a little bit more personal, so I'm probably not going to speak about them on the video diary, sorry. I feel like this video diary I'll come back to a lot because I'm a bit more vulnerable in this one, and I'm sort of speaking about what's going on in my life a lot more, than just rambling. But I don't know, I'm really excited for this year. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see the friends I'll make. I'm excited to see the bonds that I already have and how much deeper and how they'll blossom, like how much deeper they'll get and how they'll blossom. And I'm excited to see like what changes in my life. Will I still be like down the same career course after this uni degree, which I really hope I am because I really love it? Would I have changed? Would I be doing something else? Would I be putting on hold? Where will I be? Will I be in France by the end of the year? Will I still be here? That's just, you know, it's things that I'm excited to see. There's a little part of me, I'd probably say about like 10% of me is worried about it. Which, I mean, like I said, I've never worried about stuff like this before in my life, but I'm excited. I think it just means I'm growing and I'm maturing more, and I actually have things to look forward to in my life. I never, like, if you told me 5 years ago in 2020 that I'd be graduating with a diploma at 21 and planning to move abroad, I would not believe you. Like, I saw nothing for my life. I was just living every day as it was and just doing whatever happened. I wasn't really motivated to do anything. So I think that where I'm at right now, it's just not to toot my own horn, but I think it just took a lot for me to get here, and I'm really proud of myself for where I am. And I think that's really beautiful, and I'm excited. I'm really excited to see where I am next year, or even in 6 months' time. I don't know. I just have so much. I have so much in front of me. I'm 21. I have my whole life ahead of me, basically. I don't have to do school anymore. I can do what I want. I can explore places, I can travel places, I can move somewhere new, I can take different career paths, I could go back to uni if I wanted to do another course. I have, like, essentially the whole world in front of me, and I'm really excited for that. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like this diary is just not very much of one that people want to watch. I highly doubt anyone's gonna get here for the 21st. Like, it's 21 minutes in. I highly doubt anyone's going to be watching this. I mean, if you are, I really hope you have the best New Year's. I hope a lot of my friends have really great New Year's, and I hope they have amazing years. And I truly wish everyone good luck and prosperity. I think, yeah, I really see. I mean, actually, I don't know what's going to happen this year. I don't really see too much happening besides I'll figure out a plan. And I just hope that I'm happy, and I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to reflect back on this moment at the end of the year, and I'm just excited to see where I am, what I'm doing, the person I become. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. I mean, tomorrow I'll post another diary just as usual, where I just sort of ramble. But I thought I would just take this time to sort of reflect and talk about the new year. And happy new year, everyone. Like, it's 2026. Like, gag it. Like, we're still here. I mean, I don't think we're going to be here for long, seriously, with the way that, like, the environment's going and AI. I think our days are numbered. So that's why I'm just happy to live it and just see what happens. But yeah, happy new year. I hope you all have a great new year. Having a great new year. I wish everyone peace and prosperity and good fortunes for this year. And yeah, if you haven't, like, just reach out. I don't know. Like, yeah, you got this. Like, everyone's gonna do great this year. I see great things happening. But yeah, just have fun. Like, talk to your loved ones, spend time with them, work on yourself, have fun. Bye bye.